Up+Adam.
Tractor systems are offline.
We are Beyond FM.
Beyond FM.
The future of broadcasting is here.
Up+Adam with Adam Montiel. It's community content from Concentrate. It's Up+Adam with Adam Montiel.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Yes, some say life is just where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Happy Wednesday. I can't believe this week is going this fast. Thanks so much for being Up+Adam. My name is Adam Montiel. You know, today, I'm excited about this. This actor, how do we have two movie actors in 1 week? You know, this actor, even if you don't know him, you know him. You know him. You've seen him in everything, from Night at the Museum, Despicable Me, Philomena, Tropic Thunder. He's popped up in dramas, comedies, voice roles, cult classics, you name it. He is an Oscar nominee, a BAFTA magnet, so you know he's British, and he's the genius behind Alan Partridge. But now, Steve Coogan is turning heads again with a new role that's already got people talking. His latest film is called The Penguin Lessons. Yes, that one with the penguin. It isn't just charming, it is getting real buzz right now as a quietly powerful, unexpectedly emotional film. It hits theaters this Friday, and it's got political weight, it's got heart, humor, and an oil-slicked penguin that just might steal your heart. I'm so excited to welcome Steve Coogan to the show. I want to talk to him about Damien Cockburn. That was the character. He played the director who gets blown up in Tropic Thunder. Oh my God, so good. So I'm definitely excited later to welcome Steve Coogan to the show. It is going to be an epic conversation. Looking forward to it. Before we jump into today's episode, also got a couple little nuggets I want to share with you. Go to adammontiel.com. Today's your last day to win tickets to Beats and Brass. Again, comes up April 5th, Riata Ranch, Santa Margarita. And it's not just a killer night of live jazz and funk. I mean, you got the funk junket there performing live. It's going to be insane. It's a night that supports music education right here in SoCal. You're going to hear performances by the Slow High Jazz Combos, the Funk Junket, plus food from Old Slow Barbecue, local wine, beer, silent auction. Your ticket gets you all that, plus a couple drinks. And most importantly, it helps provide students with instruments, band camp access, and real opportunities that these students need now more than ever. Go to slowtigerband.org to purchase your tickets. Also, give them a follow at Slowimba, SLOIMBA. That's on Instagram. But if you want to win your way in, today, right now, last chance, get to adammontiel.com. All right, a couple little nuggets I saw floating around. This is crazy. Imagine you're flying overseas. You get to the airport early, made your flight, big deep breath. You're an hour or so into your flight. Oh, and then this happens. A United Airlines flight from LA to Shanghai. Not a short flight at all. It had to turn around over the ocean on Saturday. How come? Holy crap. The pilot forgot his passport. It was already set to be a 14-hour flight. That's insane. They turned around about an hour and 45 minutes in, then landed in San Francisco. Remember, they left LA. So they only got to the top part of the state when they were at the bottom. They get to San Francisco about 3 hours after taking off from LA, which it's like, come on, it's a really quick flight. Passengers were told there's been a crew-related issue, but didn't hear about the passport thing till later. They waited around 5 hours before finally taking off again. They ended up landing in Shanghai about 6 hours late. United reportedly gave every passenger, listen to this, a $15 meal voucher for the trouble. Pilot forgot his passport? Like, WTF, what is going on there? Aren't you so glad you were not on that flight? Makes you want to walk in. Next time you're taking an international flight, walk by the cockpit. Yo, Sean, you got your passport, right? I mean, how do you forget your passport? And don't they have other contingencies that they can perhaps engage for a moment like that? You're already over the ocean. All right, finally, this is another weird case. There's a couple of these ones that I just saw. Part of me wants to know what kind of video this couple was filming. Don't know. Part of me doesn't. A guy shows up at the ER after getting his girlfriend's entire fist stuck in his, don't be nasty, in his mouth. Yeah, they said it happened while they were filming a video for social media. There's actually a 10-second clip of them walking in to the ER together. He's gagging and sorry, I don't mean to laugh. He's gagging and drooling. Her fist doesn't look all that big. He must have a small mouth. He's also kind of trying not to laugh because you could see there's obviously some sort of, I'll give you a little bit of the video here. Listen.
I don't know.
That's somebody else laughing. He's trying not to laugh, but the person filming him is cracking up. So what a story. It doesn't seem like her tiny hand would get stuck that easily, but some people are saying it was staged, but the doctor who treated them reportedly said the guy's muscles, they seized up and the jaw like locked in. I think the reason I know it's real is because he's drooling. You can't fake drool like that. They gave him a muscle relaxant and used a mouth opener. I guess they have some sort of like, I don't know if it's like a Jaws of Life type thing. I don't know. And then they slowly twisted the girlfriend's wrist to get her hand out. Took about 20 minutes. Couple said they were trying to film a funny video to go viral. Well, yeah, you went viral and just wanted to see if her whole hand would fit in his mouth. Well, turns out it does. Turns out it does. All right, I'm excited to get to our chat with Steve Coogan. We'll do it after I tell you about Dow Vineyards. So thankful that they are supporting local broadcasting and that they are Up and Adam. If you've had Dow, love their wines. Imagine getting rewarded just for drinking them. You earn points every time you make a purchase with Dow Rewards. It's that simple. Like those points, they turn into exclusive perks, tastings, experiences, even discounts on the wine. So if you love Dow, head over to dowvineyards.com, check out Dow Rewards today, or at least come by and taste. Check out the view, the wines, the food, the people, all beautiful, inside and out. The Dow experience. Check it out, dowvineyards.com.
It's Up and Adam with Adam Montiel.
All right, he is an Oscar nominee, a BAFTA-winning actor, a master of satire, and one of the most fascinating performers working today. I know you've seen him. You've seen him go toe-to-toe with Ben Stiller in Tropic Thunder. You followed him across Europe in The Trip, and you've wept through Philomena. Now, Steve Coogan stars in The Penguin Lessons. It's a powerful, surprisingly emotional dramedy set in Argentina where a penguin, yes, an actual penguin, helps one man find purpose again.
We got a week off. I might go to Uruguay, go dancing, maybe meet a couple of ladies.
Where is he from? Is he yours?
I rescued him from an oil slick, and now he thinks he's my friend. Okay, off you go. He's not my penguin. I don't like penguins.
Then why did you save his life?
Because I was trying to impress a woman.
I have to go now.
Now I've ended up with a penguin.
If you don't take the penguin with you, I will arrest you.
On what charge?
I will just arrest you.
In a world where penguin... No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do a trailer. Let's welcome the incredible and iconic, always layered Steve Coogan, Up and Adam. Thanks for being here.
I appreciate being there.
Hey, you've played everyone from Laurel to Savile, from outlandish egos to heartbreaking souls, but The Penguin Lessons, it feels different. Was there a moment either in the script or on the set where you realized this wasn't just like a role, like it hit deeper than you expected, maybe even snuck up on you, pulling something out you weren't ready for?
Yeah, because, that's a good question, because when I first, it was written by a friend of mine who has written movies with me, and he's doing this thing about a penguin, a guy who adopts a penguin. And my first reaction was, that sounds like schmaltzy garbage. And, but the more I thought about it, I thought, well, I wonder if you can do a penguin movie that isn't just like drowning in its own cuteness. Is there a way of doing that? Because I thought, well, that's interesting. That's a challenge. And sometimes the thing that attracts me to doing a job is my initial, the fact that I might find it initially a little repellent.
Really?
It's like, I just think, I don't want to make a movie with an animal, a super cute movie, it's super cute to try and get loads of people to come to the cinema and be all
feel good and blah, blah, blah.
Feel good, sort of dumb feel good movie. I don't want to do that kind of stuff. And so, but then I thought, well, maybe if there's a way of doing this a little different. And I thought, well, maybe I'm a little cynical about all that stuff. So Jeff and I talked about it. I said, well, if my character is like that, essentially, and the character I play in the movie is a guy who doesn't like penguins, not particularly interested in animals, and not particularly interested in teaching kids. He's an all-round cynic. And I thought, well, if the penguin manages to wear that down, then that'd be a good story to tell. And you know, and like for all my sort of initial reaction to the idea of doing a movie with a penguin, I started to think, well, okay, maybe sometimes that's a good sign. If you're worried about something, they can actually ultimately attract you to it, because you think, okay, well, obstacles are always interesting. If it was too easy, oh yeah, I get that, I know what that is, yeah, blah blah blah. But so I think what we ended up with is an intelligent movie.
Yeah. I like that self-awareness about you, though. And we have a nonprofit here called Zoo to You. So we've had everything in the studio from badgers, bobcats, reindeer, owls, spider monkeys. Never a penguin, though. You had one on set every day. What's something that we would never expect working with a penguin?
They don't do always what you want them to do. They poop sometimes. They're the most antisocial moments. But that's what they do. And you just have to work around it. You can't, it teaches you a little kind of patience and tolerance. You can't get angry with the penguin for doing what it does naturally.
Right. The penguin in this film, it becomes like a mirror for the human condition. Did it ever strike you how bizarre but also kind of poetic it is that a penguin might be the emotional key to a man's redemption?
There's something so visceral and fundamental and elemental about certain animals that you look at them and think, there's some sort of secret they have, because as we all know, lots of human beings, we spend our lives with a certain amount of anxiety about a whole host of different things. And sometimes you have to look at the sort of the kind of things that seem straightforward and simple. And, penguins, I'm sure, don't have a whole host of neurological conditions. They're just too busy being penguins. And
there's something oddly cinematic about rescuing a penguin from an oil spill, finding your purpose through it. If this script, though, came across your desk 20 years ago, do you think you would have dismissed it or been secretly kind of drawn to it?
I think I might have dismissed it, but I had some input on how this was done. And I said, if you can make him, make him a guy who I suppose Jeff, is like a guy who just doesn't really like penguins.
Yeah.
That's more interesting now. And that he's kind of like the penguin teaches him to be less of less of an idiot. I'm more tolerant and enlightened, and the penguin becomes a catalyst where he becomes a better teacher, falls in love with the idea that he can actually make a difference, and that because it's very easy to be cynical, and he realizes that making a difference or having a positive impact, even in a small way, is still worthwhile. And I think we managed to do that without it being schmaltzy. It was against the fact that I would say that the penguin stops the fascism from being too serious.
Right.
And the fascism stops the penguin from being too cute.
Yeah, that's really good. I like that. And I love how you kind of dig into those, those political themes with Argentina. I mean, it's a really, really cool movie. I got to ask you, can I divert one question to Tropic Thunder? I'm a huge fan of your career, but I got to ask you about a man named Damien Cockburn, because he's this director with the frosted tips, the nerves of glass, short fuse. But there's a fan theory that Damien Cockburn didn't actually die. This was all like a David Blaine trapdoor smoke and mirrors horse shit. He faked his death to secretly get real raw performances from the cast, of course, Tropic Thunder. And then someone on Reddit took it even further, saying that what you're watching, and I love this, in Tropic Thunder is actually a docudrama made after the fact, and the version of Damien is a reenactment. Like you're playing an actor who's playing a director inside a docudrama based on a movie that was never made. I mean, does this kind of meta spiral make you laugh, or what?
I think those people need to get out of the house and go for a walk, maybe climb a tree, get back in touch with nature.
Touch grass, as they say, right?
Yeah, I mean, that was a great fun movie to me. I mean, my head got blown off, and I get blown up, and I have a photograph at home of my daughter holding my severed head.
Stop it!
It's not in full view of everyone, but it's in my office, and it's I think I've got the head somewhere in a cupboard.
So many great movies, my goodness. Let's be honest, Penguin's little charismatic scene stealers. Did you ever find yourself getting a little emotionally attached to these feathered co-stars? They have feathers, don't they?
Yeah, they do have feathers, very fine feathers. It's almost like because they're going to be aerodynamic, so they can swim through the water.
Yeah.
I did get attached to them. I liked, every morning I'd go up and say hello and talk to them the way you would with a domestic animal.
Right.
I'd give them enough space, but you talk to them, and so they got used to the sound of my voice. So I did that not just for professional reasons, but I wanted to make sure I wanted to be happy that these penguins were happy and no one was being exploited. And so, I miss them when
Well, look, I can't thank you enough, Steve, for the years of entertainment on film, on screen. It is really a pleasure to get a chance to meet you and talk to you here. I can't thank you enough for being Up and Adam.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you.
Some say life is where it begins. Straight to the stars is where it ends. Only to start again.
Well, that was the incomparable Steve Coogan. How cool was that? Truly one of the sharpest, most compelling storytellers out there. His new film, The Penguin Lessons, hits theaters March 28th. Trust me, it's unlike anything you've seen him in. It's funny. He's good at funny. He's good at moving. And yes, the Penguin is an absolute scene stealer. Big thanks to Steve Coogan for joining us. We'll link everything in the show notes. Go check out the film, follow him online, and support great storytelling, which he certainly is a great storyteller. All right, fun chat. Wow, 2 actors in a row. Well, not in a row, but in a week. 2 big screen actors, Finn Cole, earlier in the week, or was that late last week? We got some local guests tomorrow. Looking forward to it. Thanks to Moonshiner Collective for being a part of the show. Original music on the show called Start Again. Stream them wherever you get your music. Also, moonshinercollective.com tickets to their March 29th show. Yes, this Saturday night. Want to see you there? moonshinercollective.com for more. It's at Rotten Hammer Rock, formerly known as Slow Brew Rock, so check it out. Thanks to you for rating, reviewing, subscribing to the podcast that we told you earlier this week was the number 5 podcast last week in the Maldives. Like what? The Maldives, which is like that island nation in the Indian Ocean. It's like 26 atolls, over 1,000 islands. I know you've seen the Maldives because it's known for those crystal clear water, overwater bungalows and some of the best scuba diving in the world. But apparently we're huge in the Maldives. I think we were like number 190 something or right around 200 on the American charts last week. That's crazy good. I mean, I'm super thankful. Of course, we want to see it move up, but out of all the podcasts, all the daily news podcasts in the nation, to be right up there, ranked around 190, 200, whatever, incredible. Thank you so much for being part of this community and for sharing what we're doing here. Rating, reviewing, subscribing, however you choose and are able and are willing to get the word out, it does mean a lot to me. Till tomorrow. And this week is going by fast. Even got a little drizzle today. I wasn't ready for that. Ready for tomorrow. Ready for Friday. We're on our way. Till tomorrow, I'm Adam Montiel, and I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being Up and Adam.